They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Just now, another kid dropped out of school. There's one every 20 seconds. Over 200 kids an hour. That adds up to nearly 5,000 kids every school day. If we do nothing, 3.5 million kids won't receive a diploma over the next 4 years. But there is someone who can change that. And that someone is you. United Way knows that kids who have a caring adult in their life are more likely to make it. So make a pledge. Tutor a child who needs help. Mentor a kid who needs someone on their side. Volunteer to read to children. Because the path to success or failure starts long before graduation day. And the difference between a graduate and a dropout could be you. Take the pledge to volunteer now at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
1230 The Buzz. Streaming live on your computer. Log on to thebuzzcincy.com.
Okay, welcome back to You Got the Power. I am your host, Omar Neal. And of course, don't forget who's bringing this program to you. This program is being brought to you in part by Stewart View Apartments. They're located in Oakley, Madisonville. These newly renovated apartments feature spacious bedrooms with double-door closets, over 800 square feet of living space, about 10 minutes away from the Kenwood Town Center, across from the Med Place Research Facility. They have hardwood floors as well as wall-to-wall carpeting. And, of course, the owner pays both heat and water, all for a low price of $625 a month. Now, we know that these apartments won't last, so give them a call at 513-205-2656. That's 513-205-2656. That's Stewart View Apartments. Also, don't forget about our friends at Bill Brown Eastside Realty. For all of your housing needs, whether you're buying or selling, you can call Bill Brown Eastside Realty, serving Greater Cincinnati from the educational community of Evanston for over 45 years. So when you're thinking of your family growing housing needs, think no longer. Call Bill Brown Eastside Realty, where buying and selling a house is no burden. You can give them a call at 513-221-5221. That's 513-221-5221. Also, 513-221-5221 is the number to call. Also, don't forget about our friends at Cincinnati Improvement Association, the CIA. They invite you to join them January 10th. That's this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. for a matinee, which will showcase the movie Selma. That's going to be at the Cinema Deluxe, Springdale 18. Now, you need to buy your tickets in advance. They're only $10. You can give them a call at 513-205-2656. That's 513-205-2656 or 513-378-1552. That's 513-378-1552. 1552. And of course, that movie is incredible. This is absolutely a must-see. So you need to make preparations to see this movie right away. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. Let's go to Janice. You up first. You got the power. What's your comment?
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing
Judge
great, Janice. How are you doing?
How are you? Hello.
Great. How are you? Thank you.
Oh, I'm fine. It's so good to hear your voice, and my prayers have been with you every day.
Thank you.
But, you know, as I listen to you, I truly understand also what has happened, because your position there was powerful. It was one of the most powerful because, as you said, it was upsetting the direction of a system.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad to think that a system is set up to go in a certain direction. When I think about privatized prisons, for-profit prisons, which to me is nothing but modern-day slavery, I think that for you to get in there and to start bringing in some humanity and justice, you were going to turn the tide. You were going to start making people see things differently and feel differently about even who they are. And so once you upset a system, they come out with a vengeance, as we've seen. No one would fight that hard and that viciously if that position was not so terribly important. So I truly understand what's happening, and I'm sorry you had to go through this, but I think God knew what a strong person you are, and he put you in that position. But it's very clear to me why these things are being done, if you have any understanding about our system.
Thank you, Janet. It's like a breath of fresh air when somebody gets it.
Oh, yes.
You get it. You're absolutely right. And that is one of the most powerful positions and judgeships in this entire county. And the reason being, it controls the second largest budget in the entire county. And by being at the helm, that put me in the position to impact that particular budget. And that had never, ever been done before by a person of color or, again, a Democrat. So whichever way you want to flow.
Well, and
absolutely correct. Go ahead,
yeah, and when I look at our system, you look, and I do have to go all the way back to slavery, how a small group of people controlled a large group of people. So we've migrated, but now when we get to this point in time, how does a small group of people control a large group of people? You have to reincarcerate them. You have to put them in areas where they can be controlled. So how do you do that with the justice system? And so, I mean, to me, it's just that clear. And so where does it start? With children. Now they're talking about kids in the third grade being able to tell whether or not a child is going to be going to prison by third grade.
It's true.
I've never heard of such in my entire life.
That's true.
So there is a direction. And then when the Republican Party says that they could file charges against you just because they can, not because maybe they're relevant or whatever. I mean, when I heard that statement from Triantafilo, I almost fell off my seat. He said the Democrats could do it if they want to. I'm like, how evil can you be? But those are the things we're dealing with, and so God put a person who has some spiritual and faith in that position, because I don't know of anybody else who would have been able to deal with all that you've had to deal with. And I continue to pray for you.
Thank you, and God bless you. And I just want to, you've been talking about the movie Selma, Mayor Neal, and I want to encourage everyone to go see the movie, because what I have found, even in my experience, and I was indicted January the 10th, 2014, but what I found is that there is a huge gap between those who get it and, in some instances, those who don't. Because those who don't look at the surface, and they get what they're being told. They get what they're being spoon-fed. They don't look at the egregiousness or the outrageousness, or that doesn't even make sense. They don't see that. But those, like a Mr. Watson, who's 92 years old, he gets it. Most of the older persons that I would run into, I don't even have to explain to them. They know what's happening. They know why it happened. They know that, I don't even have to say to them, I didn't do it. They already know that. They understand, as Janice just said, that I upset a system that has been in place actually for hundreds of years. This really is the new Jim Crow. 2 weeks before I was sworn in, the Hillcrest, which everybody knows was owned by juvenile court, was privatized, like many detention facilities around the country, like many prisons across the country. And they make money when those beds are filled up. That's just the short and simple of it. And as Janice said, when I got in, I began to do things. I didn't wait. And I hear some people, even, everybody's not with me just because they may look like me. But even some will say, well, why did she do anything? Why didn't she just get in there and sit and just wait a few years? Well, honestly, I don't know how long God would have me to be in that position. I'm not a person who seeks position, if you will. I seek to do the will of my Father who sent me. So I'm not necessarily setting myself up to be there the rest of my life, unless God says so. But it was important to me, as soon as I came in, the very things that I ran on, rehabilitation, education, application, restoration, I started working towards those principles the moment I set foot in juvenile court. When the 3 months of being there, I saw that we were reporting incorrect and inaccurate data to the Ohio Supreme Court. I immediately started to address that issue, and that caused a little stir as well, because they've apparently been reporting some statistics that were been wrong for many years. And I immediately started writing that apple cart. I started immediately making sure that every child that came before me was represented by counsel. I started making sure that the parents' rights were also being respected, because many of our parents were coming in and being railroaded through the system. Every person that stood before me had an equal opportunity to receive justice. And I didn't care what side of the fence anyone was on. I just wanted to make sure that the right thing was done. I didn't have time to sit there 10 years before I was going to make any move and start making changes. Our children are dying now. Our children are being imprisoned now. I had literally some people came to me, even inside magistrates, and said, well, why don't you just rush this along and worry about the next group of people? Every single life is important to God, and every single life that stood before me mattered. And so we've already lost generations of children. We've lost generations in our school system, and now we're losing generations of children in our criminal justice system. Where does the buck stop? So sure, I could have got in the door and just sat there and collected a salary and did nothing, but that's not what God sent me in there to do. He sent me in there to begin to rehabilitate our children so that they would have a hope and a future. And as long as I'm off the bench, guess what? They're not getting a hope and a future. Not just our children, but our adults. Because entire families are being separated every single day. And we need someone that is in there that is looking at not how to tear those families apart because we make money. I had someone actually tell me this from Jobs and Family Services.
Hey, Judge, hold on a second. I want you to be able to say all of that, but we have to take a break. And we're going to come back, and we're going to continue our conversation. We are talking with Judge Pastor Tracy M. Hunter, and we're going to come back and talk more. And we're going to get to some solutions as well when we come back. So stay with us. We'll be stay close, and we'll be right back. Stay close.
Start your day with TV One's News One Now with host Roland Martin.
Roland, congratulations for your new show on TV One.
You can't be mad if Stevie Wonder gives you congratulations.
News One Now, weekday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern on TV One. Available on Time Warner Channel 217 and DirecTV Channel 328.
Times are different than they were when Geico started saving people money over 75 years ago. Everybody takes photos of their food nowadays. You can bet none of us kids would snap pictures of Mom's tuna casserole surprise. To this day, we don't know what the surprise was, nor do we want to. We didn't always have tasty food, but we always had great car insurance with Geico.
Geico, saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years.
I don't believe it. My savings are gone. They're gone.
You're kidding.
Nope, they're gone. They're gone.
Okay, all right. Think about it. Where did you have them last?
I remember I was home, then I took them, and then I spent them on that vacation to Aruba. Then I bought this miniature suit of armor I saw in the In-Flight magazine.
And that's the last you saw of your savings?
Yes.
This is so weird.
I know, right?
Weird? Not really. Not saving now means no money later. You'd be surprised how quickly a little money from every paycheck can really add up. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
The armor is cool, though. Oops. I think I broke its gauntlet.
You broke my favorite part.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired? family trip, part-time job, helping around the house, sick day, starting the holidays early, just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
And a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year from 1230 The Buzz.
Miracle Jesse James.
Okay, you're back again with You Got the Power. I am your host, Omar Neal. We have as our guest today for the entire 2 hours, none other than Judge Pastor Tracy M. Hunter. And, of course, we've been talking with you and with her about the juvenile justice system and what it looks like, both the inside and the outside. And, of course, we invite you to join us in the conversation by giving us a call at 513-749-1230. That's 513-749-1230. Let's go to Black Lion. You up next. You got the power. What's your comment?
Doing that.
I'm doing great. How you doing? I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing very fair. Hello, Sister Hunter. How you doing?
I'm good. Hi, Mr. Lion. How are you?
I'm very, very fair. Haven't talked to you on through a radio system since 1320, sister. It's been a long time. Everybody that made the point of the economic situation of the matter. And likewise, when I came to your church and spoke to you, and I told you, any woman, black male, would have went there on the same premise that was going to stop the incarceration of our black children, you was messing with their money. They need that money. They want that money at all costs. So it's an economic thing. And I'm kind of sure all of these judges and prosecutors and lawyers who done went to college and high school and elementary and, and got degrees and diplomas and certificates, they know exactly what it is. So we're looking at a thing that how long will we be the economic merchandise so these people can live in Indian Hills? So this judge or this prosecutor or this attorney can get paid. How long? And you also mentioned the privatization of prisons. Mm-hmm. This is horrible. You got to have a warm body in there to get money. Whose warm body they going to put in there? Because their children go free. Their children get to go home after they done committed crimes such as buying drugs with counterfeit money. They'll just let one person go home after rape. After raping another human being. This is crazy. So it's obvious when they come up with their statistics that those little poor black children in those poor little communities, when they in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade, you could tell they going to prison because we're going to put them there. We're going to use our paramilitary. We're going to use our judicial system to put them there to make this economic windfall. And it's sad. It's sad. But if you notice something, when the Germans came here, who were working for Germany exterminating Israelites, they came here and got good lives. Some of them never was even found out that they were working in the concentration camps. When the Russians came here, when the English came here, when the Arab came here, when the Italian came here as criminals, white people made sure they had good lives, made sure their children had good lives here and flourished. But not us when we've been here for hundreds of years keeping the law, keeping the way of this country, but we still haven't been able to have an economic growth like everyone else who comes here.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I appreciate you. And the other thing is, too, because and I appreciate you, Black Lion, for giving me a call. Because of time, we're going to have to call that the end for that. But the point of the matter is this. I appreciate you, my friend. Let me say this. Without trust, and I want to hear your voice, Judge, on this. Without trust,